If you ever wake up in a hotel room and hear somebody whispering your name from the hallway, please don't answer the door, because this couple learned that lesson the hard way. So listen here. So there's this married couple named Danielle and Marcus, and they decide they want to take a little trip to Salem, Massachusetts. Nothing odd about that. They wanted to visit, the witch trials, the museums, just walk around and be able to gather some history. They're taking pictures, they're eating, they're visiting, all this stuff that the tourists do. So Danielle, she loves everything to do with paranormal. She loves scary movies. She loves the whole Halloween, everything. Marcus, not so much. So he's basically there because his wife wanted to go. And we all know, happy life, happy wife, happy wife, happy life. So that's kind of where we're at this point. So after spending the entire day walking around Salem, the feet probably hurt by this point, they start to head back to the hotel. Now, this hotel is old. It's not like falling apart old. It's just like, I guess you could say a beautiful old, like a timeless look, just old fashioned. But it's the kind of building where the floors creak, the doors are heavy, the hallways somehow feel way longer at night, that kind of stuff. So their room is at the very end of the third floor. Red flag right there. Remember that. I don't like being at the very end because sometimes it's hard to get out if something was to happen. So they go to sleep. They spend time together or whatever, go to sleep because they're tired, they're exhausted at this point. Sometime around maybe 3-4 o'clock in the morning, Danielle wakes up. At first, she doesn't know why. She just thinks maybe she just has to use the bathroom or something like that. And Marcus is laying knocked out beside her, so the room is completely dark. She goes to the restroom and relieves herself, gets back in the bed, and then she hears it. Somebody's walking down the hallway. Slowly but surely. It's like step, 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 step. And it's not like real heavy, but it's not super light where you couldn't hear it. And Danielle, she's just laying there listening because whoever this is, they're just taking forever to walk past their room. But then she noticed the footsteps stop right outside their door. At this point, Danielle, you might want to grab a bat. So Danielle, she sits up, she waits, nothing. Then she hears a woman whisper, Danielle! Danielle! I don't know if it was like that, but that's me. Now, mind you, Danielle and Marcus, they don't know nobody here. This is their first time in Salem, so nobody at the hotel should know their name. Nobody should know them at all. They should not recognize them. And Danielle also did not recognize his voice. So she wakes Marcus up. She's pushing him, And of course, Marcus doesn't believe her. He's like, you were just dreaming. Go back to sleep. Trying to push everything aside like we always tend to do. Push things aside until it's too late. Then they both hear it. Danielle! Marcus sits straight up. He's like, what? What? Homie. And now somebody's gently knocking on the door. Knock, knock, knock. And this man says, I'm just going to look. Because apparently that's what people say immediately before doing something they have absolutely no business doing. I think we all know this ain't no brother. He walks over and looks through the peephole. Nobody's there. He checks again. Empty hallway. So Marcus starts walking back towards the bed. Then, bang! Somebody hits the door so hard Danielle screams and falls back. Marcus jumps over her body as she falls down to the ground. And then they hear a woman crying in the hallway. Not screaming, crying. That kind of reminds me of the witch from Left 4 Dead. But, and she keeps saying, please help me, please, open the door. Now, Danielle is already on it calling the front desk. Marcus is just standing there staring at the door. I don't know what he's doing at this point. The crying gets louder and louder. It almost sounds like it's directly in the room. Please help me, help! And the person starts turning the door handle over and over and over and over again, just adding to the anxiety and the stress. What's about to happen to us? The front desk finally answers the phone, and Danielle's telling them what's going on. She's telling the employee there's a woman outside of the room. Sounds like she's hurt. The employee goes quiet. Then he asks, "What room are you in?" And Danielle's like, "What? What do you mean?" And so Danielle tells him what room she's in. And he says, "Stay inside of your room. I'm sending someone upstairs now." A few minutes later, security's coming around, walking around. They got their flashlights and badges and all that stuff going, like they're going to really do something. They're rent-a-cops. They don't see nobody. They check the stairwells, nothing. They searched on the entire third floor, nothing. They check the elevators, the cameras, nothing. They don't see nothing. There's nothing there. So eventually, Danielle and Marcus, they go back to their room after walking around with the security and talking with them. They both calm down. Security ends up leaving eventually. And they lock everything up. They make sure they put the bolt on the door and everything like that. And you won't believe this, but somehow they eventually fell back to sleep. I don't know how, because at this point, I'm not never sleeping again. So the next morning, Danielle goes downstairs. She wants to know what happened. What's going on? What was all that last night? And there's a different employee at the front desk this time. It's not the same person. It's a different one. So Danielle tells her about the woman outside of their room, and the employee says, "Did she knock 3 times?" Danielle's eyes got real big. Danielle freezes up, and she's like, "She didn't tell nobody that. She didn't tell the people last night or the security people that." And the employee looks uncomfortable and says, "You're not the first guest who's reported her." Apparently, guests staying at that end of the third floor had complained for years about hearing a woman walking through the hallway in the middle of the night screaming and crying. Sometimes she cries, sometimes she screams, and it doesn't make a difference for me because I wouldn't have been there, personally. And then the lady at the front desk, she eventually said, "But every once in a while, we get reports where the lady is saying the visitors' names. And that usually means that she's targeting that particular person." Now, Danielle freaked out, obviously. You know, why wouldn't she be? I mean, this crazy random person is stalking her, is what it appears to be. But then she remembers something. The day before, while they were visiting one of the exhibits over in Salem, in the witch trial area, Danielle had taken this picture standing beside an old memorial display. So she pulls out her phone, finds the pictures, she's zooming in, and watch this, about to make your socks jump off. So she finds the picture, zooms in, and standing behind Danielle, way in the background, is a woman, dressed oddly, long dark dress. She has a pale face. She didn't look like she fit in the modern scene, but she looked like she could have been from way back then. And she was just staring directly at the camera. And Danielle shows Marcus, and Marcus immediately notices something that she didn't. The woman is barefoot. She definitely didn't grow up with us because we weren't allowed to be barefoot. We had to always have shoes on. They swipe to the next picture, and then she's closer. The next picture, closer. There are about 6 pictures altogether, and in every single one, she gets closer and closer and closer and closer. And that woman gets a little close to Danielle into the last picture, because in that one, she's gone. Where's the woman at? She was in all these other pictures. So Danielle starts to feel relieved. She's like, okay, she's gone. She's leaving us alone. And then that was until Marcus zooms in on a reflection in the glass behind them. The woman isn't gone. She's standing directly behind Danielle. Danielle said that was the moment she realized something. Whatever knocked on their hotel room door that night didn't start following them at the hotel. It followed them from there. Have you had a similar experience? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be back tomorrow. Hit that like and subscribe, y'all. Follow me. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.